Welcome back to V-Roll. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Check the description below. I have all the information there on that giveaway and what you could do, but do the obvious stuff, like, comment, and subscribe. Today is Wednesday, where we look at our Works of Art Wednesday. Let's dive in. Now, it's been a minute. I kind of took a little time off from it, and I was going back and forth between just news going on Pokemon because it's been crazy with this boom market. We took a pause and we went ahead and we did analyze prismatic evolutions, but we're picking back up a little bit on the path. The path being working way modern and going backward through time in this order. So it's been a while. We did Vivid Voltage last, which means Champion's Path is today's set that we're looking at under the microscope here. It's a total of 80 cards. Very tiny little set, comparatively speaking, especially with modern, even into the Sword and Shield era. This is a small specialty set. You won't have any booster boxes on Champion's Path. It's only like Prismatic Evolutions, where there's going to be ETBs and other ancillary products and things, and that's all you will find. However, unlike Prismatic Evolutions, the cards are just not that exciting. If you were to hit, it's a good hit, it's great, but there's really only a couple cards in the set that are worth going after. So we do have 73 in the main series and then 7 secret rares. We're talking about the rainbows, the gold, and that shiny Charizard V. Of course, the Charizard V is going to be the number one. It's the most difficult pull to get. It's a full art Charizard shiny, of course, and we do not see this kind of card often, although this was really trying to be a Charizard set. And with 2 Charizards in it, it's not overly complicated. It's not Brilliant Stars with 5. It's not others that we've seen like Obsidian Flames that have been even more so abundant with the Charizards and the pull rates to get them. The other big hit here is going to be that Charizard VMAX in a rainbow form here. Now, I want to talk about the artwork, but I don't want to dive in too deeply because the artwork is simple. The artwork is easy. If you just glance across here, best way to go is full arts, unless you dive into the specifics of a card. You know, a V card might have a little bit more going on, but it's really not too in-depth on how much is being shown or the scenery there. It's not overly complicated art, and it's not what I would call high art for the franchise or for the medium of Pokemon cards, all right? But one thing they nailed was the packaging. They nailed the packaging. Champion's Path ETB is absolutely awesome looking. And what's interesting is, I wish I could go back because, okay, it actually peaks in there just a little bit. This was really quite expensive for a while, and we thought this was expensive for a while, sitting around $120. It was actually even higher than this. When we were talking about the boom, we were looking at like $250 for this box. So over time, things came down. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Something to say about, I don't know, Prismatic Evolutions, that maybe not all things are written in stone forever, that it's going to last that way. Now, I get it. The highest chase cards of this set are nowhere near the $1,600 price tag we're seeing with that Umbreon EX. However, you know, getting down to a $100 box, and now really just around dollars up and down, getting us at the $108 mark, $115, really? I mean, that's not too bad to be picking something up like this. Now, because of modern, where it's at, and all the things going on, something this beautiful as far as a display piece, because the pulls are just not going to be there for you. It's really difficult, really bad pull rates, and so few to be chasing altogether. Because of that, this is actually a really interesting piece that might be even worth picking up these days. All right, this is not the peak and the height of what it has been, although it's an interesting piece to add to a collection if you're an ETB collector. I know there's a lot of different ways to collect. I understand that, but I've found with investors / collectors, the main ones are going to be booster boxes and then ETBs. Those are kind of second tier to the booster boxes. With the Pokemon Center ETBs, that might be scratching the itch for collectors a little bit more than a booster box in some cases. However, I think booster box will still remain one of the top investment pieces and collection pieces. It's the best pack price, even though we know they're seeded. They're loaded to a certain extent of how many hits you should get. If it's a main set series, how many illustration rares you should expect, how many A-Spec cards, that kind of thing. They are seeded. I mean, people act like it's super random and you could get an amazing box. It's happened. Fusion Strike, for instance, had it come out where they were accidentally, probably accidental, God boxes across the board, where every pack in a booster box had a hit. All right, and a hit at that time is hollow or better. So, you know, okay, that's fine. The reality is hit or being at a hollow or better, fine, but they don't happen often. Those things are not frequent or common, so they are seeded. I wouldn't go crazy in thinking that booster boxes are a great pack price, because It's not. There's a lot of packs in there that are going to be the light ones, the throwaway ones, the guaranteed no-hit packs. So I'm not totally sold on booster boxes being the top-tier investment piece out of the hobby. I'm not sold on that because of the reality of what's inside. A 3-pack blister, typically you'd have 1 hit out of 3 packs, typically, on average. Okay, sometimes you're going to hit more, other times you're not going to hit any, but on average there's going to be 1 hit in there. And a booster box is going to, each set find how many hits are going to be in there. The ETB at this price, putting into perspective with the modern boom, the bull market we're seeing, this kind of run, then you kind of start seeing this ETB going, that's not that bad. Where a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, everybody was turning their nose up at this going, no way, not for Champion's Path. I'm not going to pay that kind of money. Yeah, I don't think I was either. But now you're looking at it and going, that's cheaper than Prismatic Evolution's secondary market right now. Right now. It might be worth picking up. It's a pretty gorgeous box as long as the condition's nice. You get somebody who's storing it well. That's another thing here. You have kind of the layout on some of these really good common theme between the artworks of the packaging. All right. Again, it's about the packaging in this set because it was a specialty set. It had a lot going for it. You had the double and the Hatterene V. Those boxes were just everywhere at one point, and you could get them easy. The promos are worthless, comparatively speaking. But as far as sealed product, there's a statement piece here in the ETB out of this one. I think it's even more complex than something like Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic is clean, nice, looks good. You got the Eevee, that's great. I wish the Pokemon Center versions did even more, but they don't. It's not a whole lot more. It's just stating that it's Pokemon Center. Back when Sword and Shield was around, difference would be in complete design, redesign. You have other things like this Marnie's collection box here. And this would be a little bit more sought after. I believe these are a couple pins in there, so that'd be a little bit more sought after for something like that. But really, you're looking at a card that top tier here, 225. That's not ridiculous. 225. I mean, yeah, it was ridiculous. But now we have such outrageous numbers that it's kind of opening up the path to moving backward through this. And you'll see that. You'll see that in the hobby, that as modern is exploding, vintage kind of gets left behind. These are not vintage by any means, but vintage gets left behind. So if you're a vintage collector, now's the time to start searching. Now's the time to look for those deals because the focus has shifted so much into the modern. The fact that you can pre-release a set with crazy numbers, and then among the first few days of it being out there, there's a $2,000, and then it works its way down to $1,600 card for the top hole. Yikes. Yikes. Do you know how long it took for the Moonbreon to get up to these levels where that's at? It took years. It took years, and that's an anomaly in the hobby itself, too. That one was expedited to the moon. Oh, jeez. Now, no pun intended on that, but it was expedited, going way high in the price. The fact that we have new sets releasing with this is just, it's a little annoying. And for those of you who are newer to the hobby or coming back to it and seeing how crazy it is, it's not always like this, and it won't always be like this. There's going to be a downturn at some point. But I would, for me, it's the way I am in the collecting and with my investments, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until that downturn comes. I'm going to pick up what I can, get a little bit here and there. I'm not going to go crazy. It's not worth it to pour it all into these secondary prices, these FOMO prices, these scalper market prices. I'm not going to go with that. We're in a bull market, so you have to play it safe. You play it safe, hold your cards close to the vest, so to speak, and work your way through the hobby with a little bit of wisdom, all right? And then you can make your move when those opportunities strike. I'm looking at this ETB thinking this might be an opportunity for someone like me, who I've wanted this ETB for a long time, and it would just be for the sake of having a sealed one. So I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to either bundle that in an eBay deal from a listing, see if I can get them down to maybe 90 on that, or $100, something like that, and it'd be along with other things I would need or want for my other aspects of my collection. But, play it smart. Look for your opportunities because they're not always out there. But there is an opportunity here. There's an opportunity to be a part of V-Rule and like, comment, and subscribe. I post 7 days a week. I want to give you some good information. And I do a giveaway. As we climb to the next step. The next step right now is 5,000 subscribers. So be a part of the channel. Look in the description below on what I'm doing for you to the community here. I want to give out something. So be a part of it, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.